This is writer and game designer Wade Rockett for Pelgrane Video. The topic before us now is my top game mastering tip. What I would suggest to my fellow GMs is to be aware of, conscious of, the fact that playing a tabletop role-playing game is risky, and learn how to hold space. I'm going to address the first thing first. If you are playing a competitive board game, and rules mastery can get you a long way, and as somebody who's bad at board games and rarely masters those rules, if you screw up, then it's pretty much on you. I mean, it's maybe other people will be happy because as much as they hate to see their friend lose, they love to beat their friend at games. Role-playing games ask more from players. Not only understanding the rules, but also getting up on stage and acting out a part, engaging with ideas and feelings in the fiction that might be scary to contemplate, and not just in games with for want of a better word, adult content, where there are themes that are difficult to grapple with, but just something like, you know, do we attack the bugbears or not? Or what would my character do in this situation? What would they say? How would they react in the moment? And it might be something that you think, oh no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't say that, or even in make-believe, take that action in front of my friends because I might get judged. Compound that with rolling dice. Like, okay, so I'm the rogue and there is a jewel in the eye of a golden statue. I guess it's on me to get the jewel, but maybe it's a trap. And if I don't make that roll, introducing a piece of randomness into this, however skilled I am, there's still a random element. Maybe the entire party gets a face full of poison gas. So I think this is what keeps a lot of people away from role-playing games, or keeps them from fully engaging to their greatest potential, and therefore limiting the fun that they and other people are having at the table. Now, how do you counter that? For me, it's about holding space. And if you have any familiarity with life coaching or with therapy, you have probably heard that phrase before. Holding space is to be there for somebody else, to be present for somebody else, and listen intently, make an effort to understand what they are trying to express, ask clarifying or guiding questions, but do all of that with no judgment. And when you hold space for somebody, you create an atmosphere where they feel safe and comfortable to take risks, that they feel that they can say anything to you and it will be okay. As game masters, it's essential we learn how to run a table, keep things moving, at least grasp the essentials of the rules, be able to make rulings, watch what people are doing around the table, internalize that, say, okay, here's how I'm going to adjust based on what I'm seeing on people's faces, and that person is stacking dice, and this person is really engaged, but this person seems unhappy. You can, like, you know, adjust for that. And that is running a table. Holding space is different because, you know, and running a table well results in a fun game, usually, everything else being equal. But if your players feel that, if they feel comfortable taking risks, then they can make more interesting decisions at the table. They can make interesting decisions about discovering and developing their character. They can make decisions that can affect the adventure or an entire campaign in significant ways. And that's really, if your players feel safe in taking risks, that is when you can get those epic gaming moments that you talk about years later, that we all crave, that we love those moments where it's like, oh my gosh, they were standing there in front of the demon prince being offered this deal and they did this and it was amazing. So yeah, the holding space, I encourage you to like read a lot about it, and it sounds very, very woo-woo and touchy-feely, and that might be a turnoff for you. But really, it's, I think, fundamental to being not just a good GM, but being a great GM. And I want to add also, it's good to, when you do that, doing that kind of trains your players to do that for you, because you need to enjoy this also. And so, I mean, how many of us have had a situation where the heroes barge into the villain's lair and the mastermind is standing on the pedestal, and it's like, ah, I see you've made it past my little pets. I'm sure you want to know what my plan is. And somebody says, I shoot him. Like, okay, let me have my fun. so having that sort of relationship where you're holding space for your players means they can hold space for each other and hold space for you, and you can put yourself out there in really fun and interesting ways. So yeah, that's my tip. RPGs are risky, therefore acquire and build and practice the skill of holding space. This is Wade Rockett for Pelgrane Video.